Hey everyone, I finished watching the first episode of Power Rangers Megaforce Mega Mission. Before going into the summary, I want to talk about my expectations going in back in 2013. Samurai had just ended, and we saw Bulk and Skull together again after nearly a decade. While Samurai wasn't perfect, it showed signs of at least trying to appeal to longtime fans. Megaforce was the big 20th anniversary season, and fans knew it was combining elements of both Go-Sager and Go-Kaiger, two separate Sentai series. I was expecting a show that celebrated what came before, with cameos, callbacks, and returns of all kinds. And then it was a Day of the Dumpster remake. Yeah, I definitely didn't get what I wanted or expected, but I didn't find the first episode bad. It was, actually kind of fun. It wasn't until a few episodes in that I grew pretty frustrated with Megaforce. The first episode comes right out with a bang. We see old teams, as well as teams never before seen, fighting some unknown enemy. It's then revealed this was a dream being had by a kid on a school bus. In class, a teacher asks his students what species will outlive all others on Earth. A girl, Emma, answers insects. Another student, a boy, Noah, vehemently insists she's wrong. Robots powered by perpetual motion generators will outlast all others. The boy from the school bus, Troy, comes in. The teacher asks him, and he answers, humans. He explains, if humans work together, we can accomplish anything. Above Earth, in a spaceship, some monsters discuss their invasion plans of Earth. The theme song comes in here, and it's unfortunately just the Samurai theme with minor alteration, not a good sign. There was actually an original theme considered at one point, but they decided against it. It does pop up occasionally in the show, in the background, and I'm hoping if they had gone with that theme, the lyrics were a bit more creative. It starts with the bit we have on the theme they went with, but instead of stealing from Samurai, it's a fast-paced song that just sings, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Megaforce. Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Megaforce. Maybe we dodged a bullet, I'm not sure. In quick succession, we get several scenes establishing various elements of the show. We see some of the Rangers going about their day at school, followed by the bad guys further discussing their invasion of Earth. Then we zoom over a beach to a mysterious structure on the coast. Inside, ominous fan blades spin. I never got this. Were the fan blades supposed to call back to Lord Zedd's fan blades? Or maybe they're a reference to Jungle Karma Pizza. Little displays each light up different colors, and a booming voice calls a small wheeled robot awake. The robot is Tensu, and the booming voice is coming from a large metal face on the wall of what appears to be a cave. Its name is Gosei, and he tells Tensu to summon 5 teenagers. Images flash on the colored displays of the kids we met back at school. Back at the school, or at a frozen yogurt place adjacent to the school, Noah hangs out with his friend Jake. Jake crushes on a fellow student, Gia. Outside, Emma is taking pictures of butterflies. She sees one of the monsters from earlier and hides. Troy is practicing martial arts on a roof. One by one, each of them find themselves teleported away. They arrive in the cave with Gosei and Tensu.
Freaky tiki. Whoever you are, you look like something on one of my dad's Hawaiian shirts.
The walls light up and we see miniature figures of past Rangers. Troy looks closer at the figures and recalls his dream from earlier. These are who we saw. The teens act like they don't know who the past Rangers are. This is a strange choice for what's supposed to be an anniversary season. It's annoying in general, but here it's especially weird. How does not knowing about the past teams help? Gosei introduces himself to the Rangers. He tells them that his mentor, Zordon, placed him here to protect the Earth. They've been selected to defend the Earth from evil aliens. So were all the previous attacks on Earth not enough? The demons and Lightspeed, criminals from the future, Orgs, Space Ninjas, Mesagog, Mordecon, Imperius, the Ten Terrors, Flurious and Moltor, Daishi, the Nylok? Are we just supposed to forget everything that happened previously in this season that's supposedly celebrating all that?
I took this familiar form to communicate with humans.
We have technology beyond our comprehension.
Gosei gives them each their morphers, and they agree to work together.
Those are your morphers. With them, you will morph into Mega Rangers.
The new team is teleported downtown, where people are under attack by dozens of bizarre yellow-green creatures. They fight the creatures, but soon find themselves surrounded. They decide to use the morphers. Cards magically appear to be plugged in, and they transform for the first time into Power Rangers Megaforce. Gia immediately tries out the weapons. The others follow her lead, and eventually they get the attention of the bad guys up on the spaceship. They send down a monster, Scaraba. Scaraba rolls a bunch of rubble into a giant boulder. Gosei contacts the Rangers and tells them to summon their blasters. With their blaster weapons, they take out the last of the yellow-green creatures. They each summon their individual weapons and combine them into a team blaster. With it, they destroy Scaraba. Weirdly, Scaraba doesn't grow. Huh. Alright.
What did you expect?
The team returns to Gosei's cave and repeat some lines from Day of the Dumpster because they had to or something. The Rangers announce in unison, Earth's defenders never surrender. Upon rewatch, I liked this one. I wouldn't call it a favorite, but it's decently paced with striking visuals and memorable moments. The Rangers are all introduced in ways that efficiently tell us a bit about who they are. Troy has a dream, or was it a premonition? What does it mean? Why is he having it? Does he have some special connection to the legacy of the Power Rangers? Who was the armored figure from the dream? Who are all the random new Rangers? This sets up quite the mystery. I can't wait to see what it all means. Yeah. Troy himself is a stoic guy. He believes in the good of humanity and is a martial artist. He doesn't get to kick a water bottle before being teleported away. Remember that, because it'll be important in a few episodes. Okay, not really, but it's important to keep in mind to understand a fandom joke. The others all get decent bits to inform us of who they are. Emma loves nature and has a photography hobby. Noah is super intelligent, but doesn't always think through carefully what he says. Gia is friendly, practical, and down to earth. Jake is athletic and energetic and crushes on Gia. There's the Rangers. What about the villains? We've got Growly Guy, Other Growly Guy, and Calmer Guy. Not much to infer about them right now. They appear to be pretty generic bad guys, but who knows, maybe they'll get some depth later on. Gosei and Tensu are interesting. Gosei says his mentor is Zordon. Was Gosei once human, or at least humanoid? Was he an Edenite like King Lexian, another ally of Zordon? Why is he a big metal head on the wall? Did he lose his body at some point, or was he always a big head?
I took this familiar form to communicate with humans.
Tensu is quite a different kind of robot for Power Rangers. He's not that colorful, and he runs on wheels. He has no discernible face, but he has 3 ocular sensors atop a neck joint. He's a jumpy, slightly hyperactive character. Gosei and Tensu are named after parts of this season's Sentai counterpart, Tenso Sentai Goseiger. Tensu's name is pronounced slightly different than the Tenso of Goseiger. Teleportation is finally back, and the new effect is pretty cool. It's a nice callback to Mighty Morphin's teleportation effect, but updated. Gokaiger's Ranger keys line the walls of Gosei's cave. Oddly, there don't appear to be full teams represented. They also don't seem to go in any particular order. Is there some reason not all Rangers are represented there? My biggest issue with Megaforce's first season is that for whatever reason it's kept ambiguous whether or not previous seasons happened. Later on, they'll establish all previous seasons did indeed happen, so I don't know why they're acting like they don't know anything about Power Rangers. This is a consistent issue with most seasons. The creators never seem to know how much of the past they want to have happened. Personally, I would have just ignored the Disney seasons and considered them non-canon. RPM is already established to be in another dimension, so just go ahead and keep the rest of the Disney era off in their own dimension. Actually, maybe that wasn't too far off, considering some odd stuff that'll happen later. The fight with the foot soldiers is pretty fun, and each of the Rangers get moments where their personalities shine through the way they fight. Scaraba is the first monster our heroes fight. He's a decent enough challenge, and they're lucky he doesn't grow, since I don't think they have the Zords yet. This episode zipped right through introductions for just about everything. The Rangers get their powers, weapons, and even a combined weapon already. The ending at Gosei's cave has the Rangers quote a bunch of lines from Day of the Dumpster. It's cute, but awkward, especially for Emma. She isn't established as the type of character Kimberly was back then, so putting her lines in Emma's mouth doesn't feel right. Her line is being annoyed how her hair gets tangled in the helmet and then reveals she was joking. I don't think the line would fit Gia either. Maybe Jake. He seems to be the type who'd care most about his appearance and have a sense of humor about what just happened. This is a pretty good premiere, not ideal, but decent. I could see some fun developments coming out of this. Now the cast stuff. Troy was played by Andrew Gray. He got his start in one of those 1313 movies where a bunch of male models run around shirtless. After Power Rangers, he's had a steady acting career. Noah was played by John Mark Loudermilk. He's had a few TV roles since Megaforce, but hasn't done much since 2017. Gia was played by Ciara Hanna. She'd return as Gia in Ninja Steel's Dimensions in Danger, as well as a fan film team-up with Brennan Mejia from Dino Charge. She had some roles prior to Megaforce in music videos, movies, and TV, including an episode of iCarly. After Megaforce, she's had a successful acting career. She had a part in the as-of-yet unreleased movie starring Jason Frank, Legend of the White Dragon. Jake was played by Azim Rizik, who's had some roles throughout the 2010s, but appears to have left acting. Emma was played by Christina Masterson. She had small roles prior to Megaforce and has had a steady acting career since. Gosei was voiced by Jeff Dolan, who previously voiced Korag in Mystic Force and Daishi in Jungle Fury. Tensu was voiced by Estevez Gillespie, who would go on to voice several monsters up until Dino Fury. He'll voice Hisser in a future Megaforce episode, Wrench and Curio in Dino Charge, Tynamon in Ninja Steel, and the monster Bit Scream. Ernie, the guy who runs the Froyo shop, was played by Shailesh Prajapati. He doesn't have many other acting roles, but he does have a successful career in editing. He was an assistant editor on Power Rangers from Samurai until Ninja Steel. Before Power Rangers, he worked on Legend of the Seeker. Ranger Wiki provides an IMDb link, but it's to a different Shailesh Prajapati. I wouldn't have considered that a common name. Ian Harcourt played the teacher, Mr. Burley. He's had roles dating back to the 90s. He's been involved in some big movies like Peter Jackson's King Kong and the remake of the Disney film Pete's Dragon. The leader of the bad guys, Admiral Malcor, was voiced by Campbell Cooley, who's voiced many monsters in several New Zealand seasons. Cosmo Royale in Ninja Steel and Slifer in Dino Fury are probably his best roles. Creepox, the monster Emma sees in the woods, was voiced by Mark Mitchinson. He voiced many other major monsters, most notably Shifter and RPM. Vrak was voiced by Jason Hood. He'd return as a one-off monster in Dino Charge. Scaraba was voiced by Anthony Ray Parker, who previously voiced Thornox in Dino Thunder. Unlike Samurai, which stuck very close to Shinkenger, Megaforce dumps just about everything from Goseiger except the barest minimum of fight scenes. This isn't a bad thing. Most previous seasons deviated heavily from their Sentai counterparts, and many of them turned out great. Some also turned out bad. Where will Megaforce go from here? That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.